When a woman is promiscuous, it changes everything, not just her past, your present, your future, your peace. And if you ignore that truth, it won't just cost you time. It'll cost you your identity. You'll give your loyalty to someone who can't give it back. You'll believe she's changed until you're the one broken. You'll blame yourself for everything she's doing wrong. You'll lose your edge, your drive, your focus. And worst of all, you'll think that's love. But it's not. It's strategy. And if you don't wake up now, you'll be used by someone who's mastered the art of appearing innocent while carrying the weight of 1,000 choices. Comment, "No more lies," if you're ready to take back your peace and power. Number 1, stop needing closure. You already know the truth. You just haven't accepted it yet. You saw the signs. You felt the shift. You noticed how her words didn't match her actions. You heard the stories that didn't line up, the vague timelines, the ex that somehow still checks in, the guy friend who calls at odd hours, the social media attention that never ends. But you stayed, because a part of you hoped that the longer you gave, the more real it would become. You held on to the idea that maybe, just maybe, she'd see your value and give you the clarity you deserve. But she won't. Because she never needed to lie to you. She just never intended to give you the full truth. And that's the part that hurts. The silence, the unfinished conversations, the gaslighting that made you question your instincts, and the way she cried like the victim after treating you like an option. You don't need closure from someone who weaponizes your empathy. You don't need answers from someone who treats accountability like a punishment. What you need is to see her clearly, not the version you built in your head, but the one she's shown you again and again when she thinks you'll forgive her no matter what. She's not confused. She's calculated. She tells half-truths to keep you from walking. She's mastered the art of appearing vulnerable while keeping power. And you, thinking she just needs love and consistency, become the one trying to heal wounds she won't even admit are open. You don't need closure. You need to break the addiction to confusion. You need to stop waiting for her to give you permission to let go. Because every minute you wait for her to explain why she disrespected you is another minute you disrespect yourself. Real closure doesn't come from her apology. It comes from your decision. And that decision has to be firm. Walk. Without waiting. Without hoping. Without explaining. Because the version of you that keeps checking her profile, waiting for a text, hoping to bump into her in public to get the real story, that version of you is bleeding energy into someone who's already chosen herself. She's not waking up every day thinking about what she did to you. She's waking up filtering her next post to keep attention from the next guy. And yet you sit in silence, replaying conversations that were designed to manipulate, not to heal. This ends now. You don't need her to validate your pain. You need to validate your own worth. Closure is a door you close, not one she locks. It's the moment you realize that her silence is an answer, her inconsistency is a message, her contradictions are a confession. The relationship ended when you lost yourself trying to prove you were enough for someone who wasn't even honest with themselves. You want to feel peace? Stop trying to win a game where the rules change every time you start winning. Stop asking someone to be real who benefits from being unclear. Accept this. She used you for what you offered: safety, stability, ego boosts, emotional security. She saw in you what she couldn't find in herself. And when you asked for more, for loyalty, for transparency, for depth, she vanished. Not because you scared her, but because she never planned to stay. The moment you asked her to match your depth, she retreated to shallow waters. Because that's where she's comfortable, not because you were too intense, but because she was never ready to meet someone who made her reflect. That's what hurts the most, right? That you brought your best self, and she couldn't even meet you halfway. That every time you thought things were finally going right, she'd create a problem just to feel in control. That when you opened up, she used it as ammunition later. That the more you proved you were serious, the more she treated it like a game. But the game stops the moment you decide you're done playing. Closure is a lie sold to keep you in cycles, and the truth is, the more you chase it, the more power you give away. Take it back, right now. Close the tab on her social media. Delete the messages you keep rereading, hoping to find the sentence that justifies staying. Walk outside. Look at the sky. Remind yourself that your life is bigger than someone's inability to love you properly. Make a plan. Write it down. Map out the person you want to become in 6 months. Write down what that version of you tolerates, what that version of you chases, what that version of you would say to her today. Then act like you're already that version. Because healing doesn't come from time. It comes from truth. And the truth is, she never deserved the access you gave her. You built a castle and handed the keys to someone who came in with muddy shoes and no respect for the floor. You treated her like a queen when she didn't even treat herself like a citizen. And now you want closure? You don't need it. You need to remember who you were before she convinced you that loyalty means suffering. Real love doesn't come with anxiety. It doesn't make you second-guess reality. It doesn't feel like walking on eggshells trying not to upset her mood. Love is clear, it's honest, it's peaceful, and if you've never felt that, it's because she never gave it. You don't need to beg for decency. You don't need to teach grown people how to respect you. And you sure don't need to wait for someone to suddenly realize your worth after they've already disrespected it 10 times over. You don't heal by reopening the wound every time your phone buzzes. You heal by putting your peace above your pattern. You stop needing closure when you start needing purpose more. When you stop asking, "Why did she leave?" and start asking, "Why did I stay?" When you stop explaining her behavior and start explaining your standards to yourself. And if the thought of walking away makes you feel weak, remember that strength isn't in how long you endure disrespect. It's in how quickly you walk once you see it. Because a man who truly values his future never negotiates with someone who keeps him confused in the present. You want clarity? It starts when you stop needing it from her. And if you still think closure will come, ask yourself, what has staying confused ever given me other than pain, doubt, wasted time, and a version of myself I barely recognize? Choose different, choose better, choose yourself. Today, right now. No more waiting, no more justifying, no more needing. Because needing closure is the last illusion, keeping you from becoming the person you were before confusion dressed itself as love. And if you're finally ready to cut through all the noise, to rebuild your peace with clarity and discipline, then the Stoic Relationship Blueprint is your next move. This isn't just a book. It's a timeless manual built for men who are done being lied to, manipulated, and emotionally played, packed with powerful Stoic principles that will transform your perspective instantly and permanently. And now it's available in audiobook, so you can listen to this life-changing wisdom while you walk, train, drive, or reset your mind outdoors. Because this isn't something you read once and forget. This is the kind of truth that stays with you for life, something you'll return to whenever you feel off track, and once you get your copy, it's yours forever, permanent access to the blueprint that reclaims your power, your vision, your peace. Click the link in the comments, secure it now, and carry this wisdom with you for the rest of your life. Number 2. Keep your focus on purpose. You don't lose your purpose all at once. You trade it, little by little, every time you explain yourself to someone who only listens to find a weakness. Every time you abandon your routine to chase her validation. Every time you let an emotional distraction take priority over the mission you once woke up excited for. Because when you allow someone into your space who thrives off attention and crisis and unpredictability, you end up chasing her emotions instead of building your future, and you won't even notice it at first. You'll think you're being supportive. You'll think that shifting your schedule or changing your energy to accommodate her mood swings is part of being in love. But it's not. It's the start of a downward spiral, because the moment you make her your purpose is the moment she stops respecting you. Not because she's evil, but because she instinctively loses attraction to what bends too easily. And if she senses that she can reroute your day, your peace, your standards with a simple attitude shift, she won't stop. She'll test you again and again until the version of you that had goals, discipline, ambition disappears into the background of her chaos, and you'll become reactive, not intentional, emotional, not strategic. And this is where so many men lose themselves, right at the intersection between feeling needed and being manipulated. Because when you meet someone who has mastered the art of using emotional turbulence to stay in control, your calm becomes her battleground, and she'll start conflicts to test your softness. She'll call you controlling when you draw a boundary. She'll mock your goals because they take attention away from her. And slowly, your purpose becomes survival instead of success. Your identity becomes defined by how well you can regulate her instability. And that's not partnership, that's sabotage, and you'll know it's happening when the things that used to make you feel alive now feel like distractions. When waking up early becomes exhausting because you stayed up all night defending yourself over things you didn't even do. When the gym becomes optional because her passive aggression drained you the night before. When your business ideas collect dust because you're too busy explaining why her Instagram story felt disrespectful. And at first you'll justify it. You'll say she just needs time, she's healing, she doesn't mean it, but deep down, a voice in you starts to scream louder, a voice that remembers who you were before you needed her approval to breathe. And that voice is your truth. That voice is the man you used to be before you allowed her chaos to sound like a challenge worth winning. But here's the hard truth. If your mission can be hijacked by emotional games, it was never protected by conviction, and the moment you protect your focus like it's oxygen is the moment you stop letting emotional highs and lows dictate your decisions. And that's the shift that changes everything. Because a man who is rooted in purpose doesn't explain himself to people who don't value him. He doesn't pause progress to fix what isn't his to repair. He doesn't compromise momentum for connection that drains more than it gives. And if you've already compromised, if you've already found yourself becoming the version of you that moves slower, dreams smaller, and thinks less clearly, don't beat yourself up, but don't stay there either. Take a deep breath and remember what matters: your mission, your vision, your habits, your discipline, and most importantly, your peace. Because no relationship is worth losing the identity you worked years to build. No intimacy is worth abandoning the structure that makes you powerful, and no amount of attention is worth more than your own self-respect. And yes, it will hurt to reclaim your focus. It will feel lonely to stop chasing her validation, but that pain is purification. That loneliness is clarity, and once you realign, you'll realize the woman who needs constant rescuing was sent to test whether your purpose was real or just performance. Because if you can't stay focused when someone is trying to derail you, you're not ready for what you say you want. And the minute you get serious, you'll stop engaging in arguments that go nowhere. You'll stop giving access to people who don't understand your mission, and you'll start surrounding yourself with peace so consistent that chaos can't breathe near it. And when she realizes you can't be moved, she'll either adjust or disappear. And either outcome is a win, because focus is your force field. And when you lock in, when you stop needing her to understand your vision before you pursue it, when you stop proving and start producing, everything changes. Your energy returns, your confidence rises, your decisions sharpen, and most importantly, you remember who you are. Someone born to build, not babysit emotional turbulence. Someone who doesn't trade purpose for pity. Someone who protects time like treasure. And once you fully embody that, The right people will either rise to meet you or remove themselves, and both will give you peace. Number 3, never compete with her past. You will never win a game where the scoreboard is inside her head and the rules change depending on how she feels that day. You will never be enough for someone who has normalized dysfunction and glamorized chaos, because if she's lived off emotional highs from men who treated her like an option, then your loyalty will feel boring, your consistency will feel suspicious, and your presence will feel like pressure. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because she's not calibrated for peace. And the moment you try to compete with her past, you start becoming someone else, someone who second-guesses himself, someone who wonders if being a good partner is even worth it, someone who sacrifices his values just to avoid being compared to a guy who only gave her excitement but no commitment. And the tragedy is that most men don't even realize it's happening. You think you're stepping up, being romantic, trying harder, but you're really just auditioning for a role she's already cast with someone else's face. And every time you try to match her trauma, you erase your truth. Every time you lower your standards to match her chaos, you abandon your self-respect. And what's worse is she'll reward that at first. She'll praise you for being different. She'll tell you that she finally feels safe, but then when she's bored or triggered or simply missing the chaos she calls chemistry, she'll punish you for being the very thing she said she wanted, and you'll sit there trying to prove you're not like the rest. When in reality, she doesn't want different. She wants familiar, and familiar for her is inconsistent, disrespectful, and emotionally unavailable. So no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you give, she will always crave what hurt her, because pain is her default and peace feels foreign. And if you're not careful, you'll confuse her triggers for depth, her drama for passion, and her manipulation for love, and then you'll start losing yourself in the process. You'll cancel plans to cater to her mood swings. You'll stop speaking your truth to avoid arguments. You'll start reshaping your identity to become the man who finally makes her happy. But that man doesn't exist because her happiness isn't your responsibility, her healing isn't your burden, and her past is not your competition. And the sooner you stop trying to outrun ghosts you didn't invite, the sooner you reclaim your power. Because the moment you stop competing with her past, you start seeing the present clearly. You start realizing that no matter how deep her history is, your standards still matter, your peace still matters, your time still matters. And if she's still operating from unhealed trauma, that's her journey, not your responsibility, not your assignment, and definitely not your measurement. And if she still talks about her ex with emotion, if she still engages with people who disrespected her, if she still validates attention from men who only want one thing, then you're not in a relationship. You're in a waiting room hoping to be seen by someone who's still blinded by their past. And that's a place where your soul will rot, where your light will dim, and where your purpose will start to fade. And if you stay there long enough, you'll forget what real connection even feels like. You'll start to think that walking on eggshells is love, that trying harder is loyalty, that being exhausted is the price of being enough. But it's not. It's the cost of competing with dysfunction. And the truth is, if she's still tied to her past, you will always be second place to a version of herself she refuses to grow out of. So stop fighting battles that aren't yours. Stop explaining why you're different. Stop playing therapist to someone who doesn't want to heal, and instead, walk like you're irreplaceable, because you are. Speak like your standards are law, because they should be. Act like your peace is priceless, because it is. And once you truly understand that, you'll never again allow yourself to be tested by someone who's already failed the test of character. You'll stop negotiating with emotional instability, and you'll finally realize that peace is not earned by proving yourself to the wrong person. It's protected by walking away from what no longer serves your purpose, your identity, and your future. Number 4. Walk away and never look back. You know when it's over, long before you admit it out loud, long before the arguments start sounding the same, and the silence in between feels heavier than the shouting ever did. Long before you catch yourself explaining the same boundary again, hoping this time she'll understand. You know because the peace you once had when you were alone feels more fulfilling than the chaos you now call love. And yet you stay, not because you believe it'll change, but because a part of you is still trying to rewrite the beginning so the ending doesn't hurt as much. And in that space, between what you wanted and what it became, you lose yourself. You compromise your dignity for crumbs of connection. You make excuses for disrespect dressed as emotional instability. You forgive things you would have never accepted before she walked into your life. And it starts small, like overlooking her flirtatious texts, or the way she keeps her phone hidden, or how she lights up when the wrong people message her. And you rationalize it all because you remember the version of her that pretended to value you. The early days when everything felt magical and she said you were different. But you're not holding on to her. You're holding on to that version of her that never actually existed. And the longer you wait for that person to come back, the more of yourself you lose trying to impress a fantasy. And this is where the pain sharpens, where logic and emotion clash, and you find yourself negotiating with confusion, hoping that if you love harder, tolerate more, prove your loyalty, she'll finally become who you believed she was. But that belief is what's killing your spirit, because she's not changing, she's adapting, calculating how far she can push before you finally walk. And the harsh truth is, she doesn't fear losing you. She fears losing control over you. And the longer you stay, the less she respects you, not because you're weak, but because she only values what she can't fully have. And once she knows you're not leaving, she stops pretending. The mask slips, and the same woman who used to call you her peace will now call you insecure for wanting clarity. And in that moment, you must choose. Suffer quietly in a connection that feeds off your silence, or leave loudly and take back everything you lost trying to keep someone who didn't care what it cost you. And this is where most men fail. They walk away physically, but leave the door open emotionally. They block her number, but still hope she reaches out. They stop talking to her, but keep replaying what went wrong, hoping for that one conversation that'll make sense of the mess. But closure is a trap when given by the person who broke you, because no amount of explanations will erase what you already felt. No apology will undo the disrespect you tolerated, and waiting for it only keeps you chained to a memory that never respected your worth. So walk away. And when you do it with finality, with silence that speaks louder than any goodbye, with energy so detached it makes her realize she never actually knew your strength. Because the most powerful move you can make isn't slamming the door. It's building a new life so far from the chaos she thrives in that she realizes you were never meant to stay in the first place. And it starts with the little things, waking up early and not checking your phone for her messages, deleting the pictures you swore you'd keep, not out of bitterness, but because you deserve new memories, unfollowing her online, not because you're angry, but because your future has no space for old illusions, and most importantly, refusing to explain your peace to someone who profits off your confusion. And yes, there will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the loneliness bites, when you wonder if leaving was the right call. But those are just withdrawals from an addiction disguised as love. And the longer you stay away, the clearer your mind becomes, the louder your intuition gets, and the stronger your standards grow. Because walking away isn't just physical, it's spiritual, emotional, psychological, and until you detach on all levels, you'll keep relapsing into a connection that was never meant to grow you, only drain you. And every time you go back, she learns how to manipulate better, how to wear new masks, how to say all the right things without meaning any of them, and you'll think she's changed until the mask slips again and you're back in the same hell you crawled out of. and the cycle continues until you finally understand that walking away is an act of self-respect, not bitterness. It's the first step toward healing your mind, rebuilding your discipline, and remembering that peace isn't found in the arms of someone who breaks you. It's found in the strength to leave what no longer aligns with the man you're becoming. So walk, and when you do, don't look back, don't reread old messages, don't ask mutual friends how she's doing. Don't wait for her to see your worth, because the only person who needs to see your worth is you. And once you do, you'll never again beg for validation. You'll never again shrink to be accepted. You'll never again mistake manipulation for love, and you'll finally realize that walking away wasn't the end. It was the beginning of everything you were meant to be. Number 5. Rewrite the story without her. The chapter with her is over, not because you hate her, not because she didn't mean something at one point, but because the version of you that was tied to her doesn't exist anymore, and what comes next isn't about getting even. It's about getting free. It's about standing at the edge of everything that broke you and deciding to build something so solid that nothing like that can ever break you again. And it starts with ownership, not of what she did, but of what you allowed, of how long you stayed, of the red flags you explained away because you didn't want to lose her, but you lost yourself instead. And now it's time to take it all back. Not by seeking revenge, not by proving anything to her, but by becoming so clear, so focused, so unstoppable that you never again tolerate even a whisper of disrespect. And that clarity starts with rewriting the story, not the past, but the interpretation, the meaning you've attached to the pain, because the story you've been telling yourself about not being enough, about being replaced, about being used, was written in pain, and now it needs to be rewritten in power, in purpose, in truth. And the truth is, you were always enough. She just wasn't ready to receive what you brought. The truth is, she didn't replace you. She recycled old patterns and dressed them in new attention. The truth is, you weren't used, you were tested, and now you get to rebuild, not with desperation, but with direction. And that direction begins when you start living like your future deserves better. When you start saying no with confidence, when you stop giving access to people who don't match your energy, and every time your mind drifts back to her, pull it forward to your vision. Every time you want to check her page, check your goals. Every time you want to send that text, send energy into your next move, your next step, your next upgrade, and start with structure. Wake up earlier, move your body, read something that sharpens your mind, write down exactly who you're becoming. Build habits that prove you've outgrown the version of you that begged for love instead of standing in power. And the more you act in alignment with that new version, the less you'll recognize the man who tolerated what you once did. And soon, the triggers fade, the urges die, the memories become neutral, not because she stopped mattering, but because you started mattering more. And if you truly want to rewrite your story, detach with discipline, elevate with intention, forgive without reconnecting, and build without broadcasting, because the new you doesn't need to announce himself. His presence will be proof, and in that quiet, powerful transformation, the people who once overlooked you will wonder how you became so focused, so at peace, so grounded. And it won't be because you found someone else. It'll be because you finally found yourself, and that version of you doesn't chase, doesn't prove, doesn't perform. He moves with purpose, speaks with clarity, and walks with standards. And no matter who shows up now, they either add peace or they lose access, because the man who rewrites his story from pain to power becomes untouchable, not because he's hardened, but because he's healed. Number 6. Protect your peace above all. Peace isn't a luxury. It's the baseline for everything you want to build, the foundation that allows you to think clearly, move strategically, speak with conviction, and show up for your future without being chained to your past. And if you haven't been protecting it, It's because you've been taught to believe that your peace must come after someone else's comfort, after her moods, after her chaos, after her approval. But the truth is, no connection, no attention, no intimacy is worth losing the internal stillness that allows you to hear your own mind without second-guessing yourself, because when you give someone access to your peace without requiring accountability, you become the victim of your own lack of boundaries. And that's how it starts. You begin by excusing one lie. Then you ignore one red flag. Then you silence your intuition to avoid an argument. And before you know it, your life becomes a maze of unspoken truths, emotional negotiations, and mental exhaustion, all because you didn't make peace non-negotiable. And when you live in that environment for too long, you lose the ability to think long-term because you're always bracing for the next outburst, the next mood swing, the next moment she twists the truth to make you feel like you're the problem. And that's when it hits you. This isn't partnership. This is prison, an emotional trap disguised as connection, where your silence is seen as weakness and your kindness is exploited until you forget that peace is not passive. It's protection, it's power. And once you realize that, you stop apologizing for your standards. You stop justifying your need for quiet, for consistency, for clarity, because you now understand that the more you allow chaos into your life, the more you become a stranger to the discipline that once made you unstoppable, and you can't afford that anymore. Not now. Not after what you've been through. Not after the nights you stayed up replaying conversations that left you empty, the days you walked on edge trying not to trigger someone who thrived in confusion, the moments you felt guilty for asking for basic respect. And if that's where you are, understand this. Your peace is not up for debate. Your peace is not a reward she gets when she behaves. Your peace is your responsibility, your default, your decision. And if someone doesn't bring peace into your life, they don't belong in it. It doesn't matter how long you've known them, how good the chemistry is, how deep the connection feels. If they consistently interrupt your focus, violate your values, or make you question your sanity, they are not aligned with your future, and protecting your peace isn't about going silent and disappearing. It's about becoming so centered that no manipulation can shake you, so clear that no guilt can move you, so grounded that no temptation can pull you back into what you've outgrown. And it requires discipline, not just in who you allow near you, but in how you talk to yourself, how you schedule your time, how you treat your body, how you build your day. Because peace doesn't arrive. It's built, brick by brick, decision by decision, through the elimination of everything that doesn't align. And that might mean cutting off people who were once close, declining invites that used to excite you, deleting conversations you know lead nowhere, and focusing all that reclaimed energy into building something real, something yours, something powerful. And once you've had a taste of that, of waking up without anxiety, of moving through your day without manipulation, of building your goals without distraction, you won't go back, because you'll know what it cost you to live without it. And you'll protect it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Because a man without peace is a man without vision, without strength, without strategy. He's reactive instead of intentional, impulsive instead of grounded, lost instead of disciplined. And that's why so many stay stuck. Not because they lack ambition, but because they traded their peace for people who never deserved it. And once you understand that, you stop chasing love that feels like survival and start cultivating an environment where your soul can grow, and the people who belong in your life will not fight your peace. They will protect it, they will add to it, they will respect it. And anything less is removal, not discussion, because you're no longer explaining why you need peace. You're living in it, and that becomes your filter for every decision. Does this protect my peace, or does it poison it? Does this elevate me, or does it drain me? And if the answer isn't aligned with the man you're becoming, it's a no. Instantly, unapologetically, permanently. Because protecting your peace isn't a one-time move. It's a lifestyle, a daily commitment to never again abandon yourself for access to someone who couldn't even handle your truth, your standards, your silence, your discipline, and the more you protect it, the more you begin to attract what aligns, not because you're lucky, but because you're finally vibrating at the frequency of self-respect. And the people who can't match that won't even know how to find you, because you're no longer available to be drained, distracted, disrespected. You're focused, present, powerful, and calm, and not the fake calm that hides chaos, but the kind that comes from living with intention, from removing what doesn't serve, from choosing peace not just once, but every moment. Because in the end, no matter what you build, no matter how successful you become, no matter who you attract, none of it will matter if you're not at peace. So guard it like it's your legacy, because it is. If you're tired of being lied to, disrespected, and emotionally drained by women who never valued your peace, this is your moment. Society doesn't want you to have this knowledge because a focused man is dangerous. A man who understands himself is unbreakable. That's why the Stoic relationship blueprint exists, for men ready to wake up, break free, and never look back. It's filled with timeless Stoic principles that will rebuild your mind, your standards, and your entire life. And now it's finally available in audiobook, so you can absorb this life-changing truth while walking, jogging, training, or just breathing away from the chaos. Once you grab it, it's yours forever. This is the edge they hope you never find. So if you're ready to stop playing their game and start living by your own rules, comment, "I choose peace," like this video, subscribe, and grab the audiobook now in the comments.